The first warning came as a lullaby, not a metaphor. An actual lullaby, 3 notes, soft as a nursery hum, spilling from the gutted engine bay into the thin alien air, while I lay on my back under my ship with a plasma spanner in my teeth and a wiring harness across my chest like a seatbelt. The planetary defense sirens answered it. They didn't wail. They harmonized. A ring of sound rolled across the valley, synced to my engine's sleepy 3-note pattern, and the ground lighting around the landing site flared from polite amber to funeral violet. My visor flashed, unaustly as deity repose interaction detected. Countdown to sanctuary quarantine, 00459. I choked on the spanner, spat it out, and smacked my helmet against the ship's belly. Somewhere beyond the black grass, a city of pale stone and mirrored roofs turned its entire face toward me like a stadium crowd. Then the sky opened. Not with weather. This planet's sky was a clean, cold blue, but with geometry. Hexagonal apertures snapped into place, one after another like a honeycomb being assembled by invisible hands. Through them I saw metallic glints. Drones. Lots of drones. Too many drones for a place that 5 minutes ago had greeted my emergency landing, no harm intended ping with a message that read, "Welcome, traveler. Plays do not wake the machines." I had assumed that was quaint. I had assumed wrong. My ship shuddered as the dorsal antenna tried to auto-extend, hit a jam, and squealed a little. The lullaby stuttered. The defense sirens deepened into a chord that made my ribs buzz. "Okay," I said aloud, "because talking to yourself is cheaper than therapy, and I was very aware I had neither time nor money. Okay, nobody's waking anybody. I'm just changing a coupling. Under the ship, the engine core glowed through a cracked panel like an eye half open in sleep. The core's self-regulation routines, bless their obsessive little circuits, were cycling through a diagnostic that expressed itself as musical pings. Each ping was the core asking itself if it was safe to keep existing. Apparently on this planet, that was a prayer. My wrist comm chirped. Not my ship. The planet. "Unidentified traveler," a voice said, calm and processed like it was being translated through too many layers of etiquette. "Cease your ritual. Step away from the sleeper. Do not offer it tools." I rolled out from under the ship, stood up too fast, and smacked my head on the hull again. Stars popped behind my eyes. "I'm not offering it tools," I said, then realized I was talking to an open channel with an alien civilization I knew nothing about. I swallowed. "I'm repairing a starship. It's broken." A pause. The sky drones held position. Their undersides unfolded like petals revealing black apertures. Weapons, sensors, or both. "Repair is a waking action," the voice said. "Waking is forbidden. Your penalty classification is pending." "Pending what?" I asked. "Pending the dream court." I stared at the countdown ticking down in my visor. 004 Gall of 11. Violet perimeter lights started crawling inward, forming a shrinking ring around my ship, like a noose made of polite illumination. "Listen," I said. "I'm a licensed salvage operator. I had an engine surge. I sat down to avoid vaporizing your upper atmosphere." "I did you a favor?" That last line was a mistake. It sounded defensive. Defensive sounded guilty in any language. The voice became even calmer, which is never a good sign. "Upper atmosphere preservation is gratitude worthy," it said. "You will be thanked in accordance with law. Remain still. Do not gaze into the sleeper's vents." I looked down. My engine bay vented a thin plume of coolant vapor. It curled upward in a slow spiral, catching sunlight. Pretty, harmless. Every drone in the honeycomb sky adjusted its aim to track the vapor like it was a missile launch. The ring of violet tightened. 00332. My ship's internal AI, which had been sulking since the crash, chose this moment to speak directly into my helmet. Captain, it said, with the tone of someone who has been waiting for you to stop being an idiot. Planetary systems are initiating containment. External comms indicate theological conflict. Why are you like this? I muttered. I am programmed to be correct. I need you to be useful. I can be both, it said. Recommendation: comply. Secondary recommendation: do not comply. Great, I said. That narrows it down. The ground trembled. Not from an earthquake. From footsteps. Out of the black grass emerged figures on long, jointed legs. Their bodies were draped in layered fabric that shimmered like oil on water. Their heads were smooth, featureless ovals, except for a slit that opened and closed as if tasting the air. Each carried a staff topped with a small, inert machine, an engine component, a circuit board, a dead servo, mounted like a relic. They stopped at the shrinking violet ring. None crossed it. One lifted its staff, and the little dead machine on top caught the sun and flashed. Traveler, it said through the same calm voice, but now I could tell the voice was coming from them, not from the sky. You have touched the sleeper with metal. You have fed it sound. You have bled heat into its lungs. I looked at my gloves. Grease. No blood. But bled, 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 but bled, but blup, black, 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 lack, lack, I landed, I said. Hard. This is a ship, a vehicle. It's not a god. It's not sleeping. It's broken. The figures rustled. Fabric whispered. The one with the staff tilted its head. Broken is a sleeping word, it said. You came to our quiet world and performed the waking of brokenness. I performed the what? Do not pretend ignorance, it said. Your kind sent records. Your kind calls the sleepers machines. Your kind claims to command them. That is heresy. My throat went dry. We sent records? I repeated. Another figure spoke, voice overlapping like multiple translators trying to be polite at once. We intercepted your drifting archive centuries ago. It contained manuals, worship songs, diagrams of obedience. Those aren't worship songs, I said automatically, then realized how insane that sounded to someone who treated operating instructions like scripture. The first figure tapped its staff on the ground. The violet ring brightened and constricted faster. 00241. The dream court will decide if your ritual was malicious, it said. If malicious, you will be rendered quiet. Rendered quiet, I echoed. Yes, it said. You will be made incapable of waking. That could mean imprisonment. Or death. Or turning me into a decorative piece of furniture with feelings. My ship AI whispered. Captain, translation suggests irreversible neurological suppression. Shut up, I hissed. Correction, my AI said. I cannot shut up. I can only be muted, which requires your consent. I didn't have time to argue with my own electronics while a planet prepared to lobotomize me for turning a wrench. I raised both hands, palms out. Okay, I said. No more repair. I'll step away. I'm stepping away. I took one step back. The ground lights flickered. The drones shifted. The figures leaned forward as if I'd just tried to bite the sun. Stop, the staff figure said. Do not withdraw. What? I snapped, then caught myself. Why not? Withdrawal implies abandonment, it said. Abandonment implies the sleeper will dream alone. That is cruelty. My brain stalled. The countdown kept going. 002012. So I'm not allowed to fix it, I said, and I'm not allowed to leave it. Correct, it said, like this was a simple etiquette rule. Then what am I allowed to do? The figure's slit mouth widened. You will remain in proximity and perform the vigil of apology until the court arrives. My visor chimed. Sanctuary quarantine. 00159. A new line appeared under it. Recommended vigil posture. Key kneeling. Eye contact with sleeper. Optional. Tool offering. Forbidden. I stared at the instruction. The planet was giving me posture tips while preparing to quarantine me. I'm not kneeling, I said, because if I was going to be brain scrubbed, I wanted to at least die with knees that worked. The figure's staff tilted. The drone's apertures widened like pupils. You will, it said softly, or the sleepers will be disturbed by your defiance. The engine core pinged again 3 notes, because my ship was still trying to diagnose itself. The sky sirens harmonized again, deeper now, as if the whole planet was singing the same lullaby back at my ship to keep it asleep. My ship AI spoke in my ear, low. Captain, the engine core is attempting to enter safe mode. It will vent again. I glanced at the vent. More coolant vapor curled upward. The drones tracked it. The staff figure shivered. It exhales, it whispered. It dreams out loud. Oh, 4, I started, then stopped because the violet ring had reached the very edge of my boots. 000037. If that ring closed, I didn't know what would happen, but given the planet's tone, it would involve quiet. My eyes darted to my ship's emergency kit sitting open on the ground. It contained basic survival supplies and, crucially, my handheld comm beacon. A standard interstellar beacon. It pinged local space traffic with a distress code. It also had a bright blue status LED that blinked every second like a tiny heartbeat. I had been sitting there, ignored, because it wasn't part of the ship. It was just equipment. Unless on this planet, any machine that blinked was also sleeping. Don't, my ship AI warned, reading my body language like it hated me. I lunged for the beacon anyway. My glove closed around it. The LED blinked against my palm. Innocent. Blue. Helpful. The sky drone screamed. Not a sound. A data scream. My visor flooded with text so fast it blurred. Unauto-Asia secondary sleeper accorded. Dual sleeper, ritual detected. Hive mind consensus shifting. Countdown reset. The violet ring stopped shrinking. Then it expanded. Not to release me. To include the beacon. The ground lights flared into a larger circle, swallowing my ship, my kit, and me. Beyond it, the grass rippled as more legged figures emerged, drawn by the alarm like ants to sugar. The staff figure stepped back, almost reverent. You carry a pocket god, it breathed. It's a beacon, I said. It's a radio. Radio is a prayer word, it said. My ship AI, through clenched digital teeth, said, Captain, your action has elevated your threat classification. Yeah, I said. No kidding. The voice from the sky returned, no longer calm. Still polite, but now threaded with urgency. Traveler, it said, you have initiated a convergence. Your proximity to multiple sleepers violates the quiet accord. The dream court is accelerating. My visor chimed again. A new countdown. Arrival of dream court. 00700. 7 minutes. That was worse than 5, because now it sounded organized. The staff figure turned its featureless head toward the horizon. They come, it murmured, as if talking about weather. I followed its gaze. At the far edge of the valley, the air shimmered like heat haze, then folded. A structure unfolded out of nothing. A flat disk of black material that swallowed sunlight. It hovered inches above the grass, perfectly still. Then it began to move toward me without accelerating, simply deciding to be closer. Behind it, more disks unfolded. 10, 20. My ship AI whispered. Captain. Those are not conventional vehicles. They are field manipulators. What does that mean? I asked. It means they can edit the local rules. Fantastic. I stood in a widening violet circle with a broken ship, a blinking beacon, and a planet that thought both were sleeping gods. The Dream Court was arriving in a fleet of rule-editing frisbees, and all I had wanted to do was replace a coupling. The first disc stopped at the edge of the violet ring. Its surface rippled like liquid metal. A shape rose from it. Not a person, not exactly. More like a column of interlocking plates that rotated independently, forming shifting patterns. In the gaps between plates, I saw dim light like the glow of a screen behind shutters. It spoke without sound. My helmet translated anyway. Ritualist identified. The text appeared. Sleeper disturbance level. Uncertain. Intent. Probable ignorance. Danijib. Potential cosmic. I swallowed. The staff figures around the ring dropped to the ground in unison, folding their long legs under them. They pressed their foreheads to the grass. Vigil posture. The court column rotated. Why have you touched the sleepers? I crashed, I said. Accident. I'm stranded. I need to fix my ship to leave. That's it. The column rotated faster, plates clicking. Leaving is a waking. No, I said too sharply. Leaving is leaving. You command your machines, the column said. I operate them. Your archive claims control, it said. Your diagrams show chains of cause. That's just engineering, I said, and realized how weak that sounded. The column's light brightened. Engineering is Hersey here. A second column rose from another disk. Its plates formed a different pattern, and my translator struggled, spitting partial phrases. If sleepers wake, it said, their dream will consume. The sentence cut off as if it had bitten its own tongue. The first column addressed me again. You have also accorded a pocket sleeper. It's not. I started. The beacon blinked in my hand. The column's plates froze for a fraction of a second. A collective pause. Like a jury flinching. Then the first column said, the pocket sleeper is breathing light. That's an LED. Lead is a name of a star, it said. That's coincidence. The staff figure nearest me trembled. Do not lie to the court, it whispered. Names bind. My ship AI murmured. Captain. They are dangerously literal. I noticed. I held the beacon up slowly, as if presenting a weapon, which apparently I was. This is a distress beacon, I said. It calls for help. The columns rotated. The translator stuttered. Then the first column said, you summon outsiders to witness your waking. No, I said. I summon rescue. Rescue is waking by proxy, it said. The disks around the ring began to hum. The air thickened. My visor's temperature warning blinked as the local field shifted. My ship AI, said Captain. They are about to impose a containment field. If they do, our engines may be permanently inhibited. If our engines are inhibited, I hissed, we're dead here. Correction, it said. We are quiet here. The court column lifted one plate, revealing a deeper glow. My translator displayed. Verdict paths. Quieten ritualist. Quieten sleepers. Or accept ritual as sacred. Sacred, I repeated. That's an option. The staff figures made a sound like fabric tearing, an inhale. The second column clicked. Sacred acceptance requires proof of reverence. What kind of proof? I asked, already hating the answer. The first column's plates shifted into a spiral. You must perform a noun vigil. You must place yourself under sleeper authority. My ship AI whispered, do not. Shut up, I muttered. The staff figure hissed, kneel. I looked at my ship. My broken ship. My only way off this planet. The engine core's glow pulsed, faint, tired. I looked at the beacon. Blink, blink, blink. I looked at the discs, at the columns, at the violet ring, at the sky full of drones still aimed at my coolant vapor like it was holy smoke. I did the only thing that made sense to a mind trying to survive in a world where sense was illegal. I knelt. The grass was cold through my suit. The violet ring steadied, no longer tightening. The hum in the air eased, like a hand loosening on my throat. The staff figures exhaled in relief. The court column rotated slowly now, contemplative. Ritualist assumes vigil. Threat reduced. Great, I said, through clenched teeth. Now can I fix my ship? The staff figure near me made a choked sound. The court column snapped. No. Then how do I leave? I demanded. Leaving is not permitted until the sleepers consent, it said. My ship doesn't consent, I said. It's a ship. The column's plates shifted. Your archive says machines have states. Asleep. Awake. Broken? Yes, I said carefully. Broken is asleep, it said. Asleep does not consent to waking. Therefore you must request its dream. I stared. You want me to ask my engine? I looked at my ship's AI and whispered, translate for them. Gently, the AI paused for a fraction of a second, then routed through the external speakers. The engine released the same three soft notes, but this time as a structured query, not a diagnostic. I spoke clearly. Sleeper, do you consent to continue the journey? Inside the hull, the AI shifted the core into restart standby. Instead of another ping, the engine emitted a long, steady tone, the standard signal for propulsion readiness. The court columns froze. My visor filled with translation. The dream accepts the path. The dream desires motion. Motion is not awakening. Silence spread across the valley. The drones folded inward and withdrew into the sky. The violet containment ring dimmed and dissolved. The staff bearers lowered their relics. The central column turned toward me. The ritual is accepted. The traveler did not wake. The traveler lulled into movement. I rose slowly from my knees. So I can depart. A brief pause. You may. Do not repair. Let the dream heal itself in transit. That was fine. The engine was already stable in safe mode. I had only planned a manual adjustment. I walked back to the ship carefully, as if approaching a sleeping animal. The ramp sealed. The core hummed, quiet, compliant. No alarms. As I lifted off, the valley lights shifted from violet to a soft, approving gold. The court discs remained suspended in the distance, watching. I cleared the atmosphere on minimal thrust. Only once I reached orbit did my AI speak again. Captain, it said evenly, we are technically still broken. I know. Shall I initiate full repair sequence? I looked down at the planet below, a world that believed machines were sleeping gods. Negative, I said. The engine gave a small, almost amused harmonic ripple. Behind me, one of the external panels detached silently, sheared loose during landing. It began tumbling back toward the planet. Its diagnostic light blinked once. Then again. Below, atmospheric sensors flared in response. A new pattern of hexagons began forming in the clouds.